I wanted to turn your attention to this article that I found from Inc., which is 25 habits to pick up right away if you want to be a millionaire before the age of 35. Now, before I get into the content of this article, I thought I would talk to you guys real quick about a cashback app that I'm using called Dosh. Right now, they are offering 5% cashback on Uber Eats, and I think they're offering cashback at Costco as well, if I saw that correctly. Yeah, look, you can get $10 back at Costco, 5% cashback on Uber Eats, and then just a ton of other things. I've been using Dosh for a while now, and it's pretty awesome. You just create an account, enter your credit card information just like you would for Uber, and it doesn't charge you any money. That's not what the credit card is for. It's whenever you swipe your credit card at one of their partner stores, you get cash back automatically. So no more having to upload receipts or scan anything or look at barcodes. Just whenever you use your credit card at one of their partner stores, like Uber Eats or Costco, you automatically get cash back. Well, without further ado, let's get back into the video. So I'm gonna go through this pretty quick. I don't wanna make this video any longer than it needs to be, but I'm looking at 25 habits to pick up right away if you want to become a millionaire before the age of 35. I'll tell you the ones that I agree with and the ones that I do not agree with. And if anyone's questioning my credibility, I became a millionaire when I was 25, so about a decade before this article is teaching you guys how to do it. So, yeah, I guess that was my flex for today, but just in case anyone's wondering what the hell does this guy know. But okay, so habit 1, sell all the stuff you do not need: TV, Xbox, PlayStation. I mean, I don't have any gaming consoles personally. I'm not a gamer, but for some people, if that's your outlet, like if that's how you relax, then I wouldn't actually get rid of that, because, after a long day, if you just need 30 minutes on your Xbox, then I don't see any harm with that. I would never be the type of person to play games for like 7 hours a day, but I'm not a gamer, so I can't really speak to that. Number 2 is quit shopping for the sake of shopping. I do agree with this one. I'm not a really big shopper, so, only shop for things if you need it. I think that's actually really good advice. Do not smoke, drink alcohol, do drugs, etc. I don't smoke tobacco. I very rarely drink. I'm trying to cut back on that. But if you want to have a cocktail with your friends every once in a while, I don't see any problem with that. Do drugs. I think this is, it depends on what they mean by that. Like, obviously, don't do heroin, and don't do cocaine and stuff like that. A lot of people think that marijuana is a drug, and this is not going to be a political video. I personally don't even use marijuana. I don't use any cannabis product whatsoever. I don't smoke or do edibles, but I also think it's way less harmful than many of the things that are out there. Like, it's way less harmful than alcohol, for example. So if you want to smoke weed, I'm not mad at you. I personally choose not to, but I'm not going to be hating on anyone who smokes weed. Number 4 is remove the Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest apps from your iPhone so that you can only access them via your desktop computer. You will automatically reduce your wasted time by at least 90%. So I think this is true for the vast majority of people. A lot of time is wasted on social media. However, you can also use social media to make money. Like, there are Instagram influencers that make a ton of money. In fact, one of my tenants is an aspiring Instagram influencer for men's fashion. As of right now, he has about 40,000 followers, and I'll actually flash his Instagram on the screen here. And he, of course, he has it on his phone and stuff. So if you're trying to be an influencer, don't do this step. But if you're just a consumer, then maybe this step would be a good way to not waste the time, or at least use the time more productively. Number 5, sleep 8 hours a day consistently. I wholeheartedly agree with this one, and unfortunately, I'm not doing it. I actually have insomnia, so I get terrible sleep. I'm lucky if I get like 3 to 4 hours of actual solid sleep a night. So I am definitely working on number 5. Number 6, meticulously decide whether you really need new stuff to buy. I think this can be kind of summed up to that one that was like, don't shop for the sake of shopping. It's the same thing, like, retail therapy, people buy stuff to make them feel happy, but then, it doesn't last, and then they want to go buy something else. So I've never been the type of person to go buy something that I don't need, or that I don't really want. I'm not interested in, spending $20 at Target. I'd be much more interested in taking like $10,000 and going on a really nice vacation. That's just me, though. Number 7 is learn how to do your own taxes. And basically this is saying that once you understand how taxes work, get an accountant, and then make sure they're doing it right. This one I actually don't agree with. So I'm not saying you shouldn't have to do your own taxes, but I think relying on professionals, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with outsourcing it. So I'm lucky. My wife is a CPA, so she is an accountant. She's a very successful one and has some really big corporate clients. So she does all the taxes for us. But like, I think tax is a profession that if somebody else knows how to do it and you trust them and they will do it really well, then there's really no reason for you to be, I don't know, I also wouldn't suggest anyone learn how to do open heart surgery. Learn how to do it yourself, on yourself, and then when you finally get a doctor, you can see if you're doing it right. Like, no, just like go to the expert and let the doctor do his work, you know, like go to your accountant, let her do her work. Like and I understand some people have been screwed by their accountant. Well, it's like, then don't get a shitty accountant and that won't happen to you. Number 8, I do agree with, ditch fake friends. So yeah, fake friends is a big deal. I've had a lot of those in the past. I've had to let a lot of them go. I really only have like probably 5 or 6 friends now that I would actually consider friends. And that actually is pretty common with people who reach certain levels of success is, you know, a lot of people just want to hang out with you because of who you are or because they think you're like a free ride somewhere. So my actual friends that like me for me, I think are very low. And maybe that says something about me. Maybe I'm just not a likable person. But I do agree with number 8 here. Ditch the fake friends. Number 9, never shop for food when you're hungry. I do agree with this. If you shop for food when you're hungry, you're going to end up with like a box of donuts and TV dinners and a bunch of unhealthy stuff. Yeah, I mean, this is all about like, you know, limit sugar, don't buy bottled water. Okay, I understand that plastic water bottles aren't very healthy. I do still have some bottled water, and that's like really in case shit hits the fan. Like I have like a stockpile of bottled water. You know, just for the apocalypse, I guess you'll say. But yeah, I don't like drink bottled water on a regular basis. If I do have a bottle of water, it'll be like a healthy, like, you know, Nalgene bottle or something that's not like one of those Yeti bottles or something, not a plastic bottle that you can get at Safeway. Number 10, if you can, use public transport or a bike. Accordingly, consider ditching your car. In the rare case you will need and want to road trip, you can easily rent a car for very reasonable. And yeah, so this I actually don't agree with. I mean, it depends on where you are. If you're in New York City, maybe you don't need a car. My job historically has been in sales where I'm driving to clients and I have to be able to go meet a client, you know, whenever I have an appointment. So it'd be very inefficient for me to take an Uber to that. I mean, I have some of my clients have been 2 hours away from me. But I like having a car. Mine's paid for. It's completely paid off. I don't owe anything on it. So I would say be smart about it. But if you're, you know, if you're like in a rural area, or you're like a farmer or something, then of course you need like your truck to get into town and everything. So ditching the car is, I think, a very specific niche of people who are maybe in a huge city that don't need a car. And then fine, yeah, you know, you don't need that extra expense, but I wouldn't say most people are there. 11, do not upgrade your smartphone every year. So this is something that I actually have never done. I've never been the type of person to upgrade my smartphone every year. Right now I do have the iPhone 11 Pro Max, but before this I had an iPhone 6, not even the 6S, like the actual 6. So there had been the 7, the 8, the X, you know, and then all of those had like the 8S and the X, you know, whatever. So I've never done this. However, now that I'm on YouTube, and my iPhone, by the way, is my only camera that I'm using at the moment. I don't actually have like some super cool, awesome camera. So now that I'm on YouTube, I actually might consider upgrading my phone on an annual basis. So I think, again, it depends on what you do. It's just like that, you know, getting rid of Facebook and Twitter and Instagram on your phone. If you're an influencer, don't do that. If video editing and, you know, a good video software and just really good camera is how you make money, or at least a big part of that, maybe you should get a new phone every year. Who knows? But this is something that I've never done historically. I don't know if I'm going to do it this year, but we will see. Number 12, always pay your credit in full. Absolutely do that. Number 13, get a good health insurance with above average coverage. I highly recommend this because your health is your wealth. Number 14, be curious about the world out there. Try to read many books, mostly nonfiction, especially in sectors out of your normal studies. Okay, so yeah, I agree with this. Most of the books that I read is nonfiction, but I'm not going to get mad at someone who reads Harry Potter. I freaking love Harry Potter, so yeah. Now it's weird because like the numbers start over, so I guess this is like number 1 again. And it actually looks like, I just scrolled to the bottom, it looks like a lot of these are repeats. I'll just link to the article down there, but most of these are repeats. So there was like one new piece of information that was like, open up a stock portfolio and invest, you know, at least 10 at a max 50% of your take-home pay. So I would do that one, but most of this, I should have looked at this article before doing the video. I just found the article and I wanted to give it to you guys. Most of this down here is all repeat. So I think I'll end the video here. Again, I don't want to make this any longer than it needs to be. If this content was helpful to you, make sure you smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm, and I will be back soon with another video. All right, guys, peace.